Why it is important as a Christian to have a clean heart. Now, after the scamming and whatever, God has started to show me. I mean, He was showing me before the houses that these witches put their spirits in to give to His people to live in, to keep them in bondage. Now, I have been to several where he says my husband's ex spirit is in the people telling me about the houses. When I look at the houses, I'm seeing altars built up, and he's just showing me them. But there are several of them that he's shown me so far. The house that I was supposed to get, he says the witches took the house. He says they want to load it up to put in their insects and to make the grill rusty and whatever, to give themselves access. And at the end of it, they're going to block her house from being rented. Now he says I'm to tell her, and I did tell her. So it's up to her to go to God and may God help her or ignore it, whatever she wants to do. Now he sent me to a place, I don't know whose place it was, but he sent me and I went and nobody was there. But after that, I said to him, God, I want to know the houses that belong to your people. The houses are being rented. And he said it is already done. So he told me to hold up my hand. He filled me up and he sent me somewhere this morning. And I went and I could feel the houses. I could feel the houses that belong to his people. No, the ones that I felt, because I know that there are many Christians in that community that have houses. But the ones that I felt were the ones for the people who have clean hearts. Because I am not going to feel somebody who their heart has something in it. Or let's say them have unforgiveness, them gossip, them do whatever. I am not going to feel those people's homes. But the ones that I feel, he said, are for people who have clean hearts. And I'm feeling where the Christians are living, and it's not a lot. Honestly, it's not a lot. It's an entire community, but it's not a lot of them I felt that Christians lived in. And I know that a lot of Christians have houses in that community. And this is why it is important for us to keep a clean heart at all times. Know that we wrestle not against flesh and blood. You are not fighting against your brother, your sister, who you can see physically. That's not who you're fighting against. You're fighting against spirits. Your enemy is a spirit, but it is put in the closest person to you. You have to forgive that person. No matter what the person did, you have to forgive that person. You have to know that God fights spirits and God will avenge you. He will. But we have to forgive people. We have to live good with people for us to get God's blessings, for us to get what God has for us. We have to just surrender our wills to God. Make God lead. Let Him lead. He knows things. He has things for us. We just have to let Him lead. When you hear things from God, you say, okay, this is God. God, I want you to confirm. For me, I confirm up to 5 times before I accept it. With the scam, God said, send spirits into the messages and in the phone calls to confuse you. You don't know who you're hearing from. And they take your money. But as long as your heart is clean and you are saying, God, you're going to have these problems, but God will help you to rise above it. We have to forgive everyone. Everyone. You cannot have a bad spirit. If a dog bites you, you cannot vex with him. If a cat bites you, you cannot malice him. If a bird peck you, you cannot malice him. If an insect bites you, you cannot malice him. It's the same spirit in the insect, in the birds, in the animals, and in people. So we have to remember that.